In this episode, we're going to be looking at subsidies. So first of all, what is a subsidy? A subsidy is an amount of money that's paid by the government, to a producer. And they are used to encourage demand and production of a product. Okay, so how does a subsidy affect the demand and supply curves? Well, what it does, a subsidy shifts the supply curve to the right, as you can see in this diagram. So supply shifts to the right. We initially started at this point here, and now we are at the new equilibrium position here, okay, P1, Q1. So it's having the effect of lowering price, as you can see, and increasing quantity. So therefore, why would a government try to put a subsidy in place? Well, it's probably going to be in the case of a merit good. Okay, the good in question is probably good for society. The government want more of it produced and consumed. Okay, so therefore it's a good policy option in the case of merit goods especially. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at how does the elasticity of demand have an effect on subsidies. So this is the case of inelastic demand, so PED between 0 and 1. So as you can see, the demand curve is very steep, therefore showing the inelasticity of the product. Now, supply has shifted to the right because the subsidy has been imposed. Okay, so as you can see, there is a very large decrease in price as a result. However, the quantity that's being produced and consumed is only very, very small. So what it's saying is that the subsidy that we need to get even a tiny amount of quantity increased in this market is very large. So it's going to cost the government a lot of money to try and get extra quantity out of the producers and from the consumers. Okay, so in the case of inelastic demand, subsidies aren't very effective, to be quite honest with you. Okay, because of the inelasticity, the consumers aren't very sensitive to the price. And in this case, we have elastic demand. Okay, so this diagram here, so we have a shallow demand curve, as you can see, right? And again, we have the subsidy shifting the supply curve to the right. Now, in this case, we had the original position, the original equilibrium was price P, and the new equilibrium position is price P1. So there has been a very, very small decrease in the price, but that has resulted in a very, very large increase in the quantity. So that's saying that a very small subsidy in this market is going to have a profound effect on the quantity that's being produced and consumed. So because there is a large gain in quantity demanded, it means that it's going to be a very effective policy for the government to employ, because it's going to cost the government very little because the subsidy needed is very small and the gain to society is very large. Okay, so hope this all made sense. Any questions, just please leave them down below.